I had previously said that there was no science behind baby-led weaning. I will be the first to admit that I was wrong. There is some science behind baby-led weaning. It is new, so it's still early days, but here's what they say. This study looked at the impact of breastfeeding for 4 months or more and baby-led weaning, and they found that babies who had been breastfed for 4 months or more and who had gone through baby-led weaning as an approach to weaning had decreased fussiness, which is one of the claims that we talk a lot about with baby-led weaning. And I think they were looking at the 3 to 6 year old range when they were looking at, or like assessing the fussiness, if you see what I mean. This next study looked at the impact of baby-led weaning versus pouches, and they found that kids who consumed pouches had an increased level of food fussiness. Now, what I think is important to call out here is that you can do purees without using pouches. I think the risk with a lot of the pouches that we see in supermarkets is that they have a lot of added sugar, which is why it doesn't really surprise me that would have an impact on kids' fussiness. Like, they might be used to having a sugary pouch, and then when they eat real food, they're like, that's gross, I want my pouch. Whereas my feeling would be that if you puree at home and prepare your food at home without adding sugar, this impact would be less visible. That was not assessed in this study, as far as I can tell. They were looking at like pre-made pouches, so take that as you will. Another study that I thought was interesting, which this person didn't mention, but I found it and thought it was worth including in this video, is around choking. So I think one of the big reservations of baby-led weaning is the fear that it increases the risk of choking. This has not been found, and in fact, there was this study that was done that found that there was no meaningful or significant increase in choking from baby-led weaning and purees. But what I will come back to is this study, which I think, as far as I could see, was the most like comprehensive review of the literature around baby-led weaning. Long story short, it said more research is needed. So I echo what I said in earlier videos. I think we're at the early days of baby-led weaning. I don't think it's dangerous if you're doing it properly and you're following the guidelines. There do seem to be early indications that it could reduce things like food fussiness, but it's still very early to say. I guess long story short, what I'm trying to say is that if you are doing purees at home, don't worry about it. I think a lot of people commented and said they felt shamed for doing purees. Definitely don't feel that way. I think there's definitely a school of thought that it's such early days of baby-led weaning that you might not want to go down that route. But I hope that helps, and I hope I can put this to bed, because I feel like I've been going round and round the baby-led weaning cycle. We're continuing to do baby-led weaning in my home. I'll be honest, most of the food is ending up on the floor and not in my baby's mouth, but it's par for the course. But yeah, I hope that helps.